I see it as a minister. Government officials have been attacked. Government officials have been beaten up. Government officials to the level of directorship. Then I'm sitting in my office doing what? How will such officials carry out their functions again when they know they are their principal or their boss cannot protect them? Not as private individuals, as government officials.
The public confrontation between FCT Minister Nyesom Wike and Naval Lieutenant A.M. Yerima in Abuja over an alleged illegal land allocation. The video of the heated exchange, which has since gone viral on social media, has generated millions of views online, with Nigerians creating memes, AI edits, and comedy skits, turning the confrontation into a social media phenomenon. Let's take a look at this.
Doctor was acquired legally.
Because I carry neglect. Will you stop that?
I'm an integrity officer.
Will you stop that?
Sir, you cannot shut me up.
Get that way. Shut that.
You cannot shut me up.
Who does that?
You cannot shut me up.
Will you shut up?
You cannot shut me. I'm an integrity.
Get that way. I was in school when
I am acting on order, sir.
You are shut up.
Sir, you cannot shut
me up.
You
are a big fool.
Sir, I'm not a fool.
You are a fool.
I am not a fool.
Shut up, will you stop?
I am not a fool.
You are a big fool.
I am not a fool.
You are coming close to me.
I am not a fool.
Because I'm an old man. I will just come out at it like idiot. You are telling me. You are a big fool. What the hell?
All right, everyone's cracking up here. Dr. Abati, that is AI generated. That's what we're talking about, AI.
This is very fake. It's AI. Dr. Abati, over to you.
Over to you. You were here when we discussed this story,
The first
please.
point to be made is that, look, this is very embarrassing.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the midst of whatever embarrassing situation, you will see the creativity of Nigerians coming through.
Yes.
Hence all these kits that Nigerians have created. Some are even selling T-shirts. I'm not a fool.
Yeah.
Yes.
They turned
There's
it
Wike
into
fabric
business.
out there, Dr.
However, the point needs to be made. I think the minister's behavior is very embarrassing. The way he conducted himself should be seen as a matter of serious concern by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who appointed him. Street fighting is not part of the responsibility of anybody that has been appointed by the president. Because I've heard some people saying that he was acting on behalf of the president. No, I'm not aware that President Tinubu, when he appointed him, gave him the title of Omonile of FCT. Because it's only Omoniles that behave like this. As minister of the FCT, he took the matter into his own hands. He said his officials went to the site and then they told him that they didn't allow them to chase them away. Then he left his office, carried his able-bodied officials and went to the site to go and do work. So the minister himself did not follow due process.
Yes.
Yes.
And I've seen some people expressing the opinion that Officer Yerima was carrying out an unlawful order. With due respect, the Professor Horn, Sebastian Horn, quoting the Nigerian Air Force case and I think Onunzu versus State and all of that. Yes, Supreme Court has ruled that you don't carry out unlawful order when you are in uniform. You can say no. You should in fact say no. But in this particular case, we're told that the officer called his boss, called the chief of defense staff. So that in itself presupposes that he was acting in a lawful manner and not going on a frolic of his own. And in fact, that officer should be commended.
Yes.
Because he conducted himself with maturity. It was the minister in the video that I saw that was shouting, raising his hand, and this is being confirmed by some of the skits that have been produced. So I think that Minister Wike disgraced the assignment, the office of the president, to the extent that, the people arguing that he was acting on behalf of the president. We don't want Omonile as a minister of the Federal Capital Territory. Those who are familiar with the phrase Omonile, they know how Omoniles, how they behave. So this is a matter that should be investigated.
It is.
If it were another president in office, this is more than enough to ask the minister to go back to Port Harcourt.
Dr. Abati, you in government. Is there a ministerial code? That's the question I've been asking.
There is a general code of conduct now in terms of how public
breach the ministerial code?
In terms of how public officials should behave.
Yeah.
Now look at Punch today. I think it's a front page story. Ex-generals, they say they are angry.
Yes.
Because the ex-generals are saying, look, this has to do with the institutional integrity of the Nigerian military. All of them, without exception, the ones quoted in that story, they are saying that, in fact, Wike should be disciplined.
Right.
That he was involved in an act of indiscipline.
All right.
By taking the laws into his own hands. Right. Nobody is above the law.
All right.
And we should not further, disrupt civilian military relations. What this has done is that if Wike insists on doing Omonile antics across the federal capital territory, other people will be emboldened to challenge him. I hope one day he will not go to his site to take the laws into his hands and they will rough handle him.
All right,
it can happen. This is Nigeria. Anything can happen.
Like you have rightly said, the reactions, however, haven't been entirely lighthearted. Retired military leaders have condemned Wike's language during the exchange, describing it as a national embarrassment, while the Defense Ministry has now launched an investigation into the incident. While speaking during a press briefing to commence activities for the 2026 Armed Forces Remembrance Day at the National Defense College in Abuja on Wednesday, the Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru, said the armed forces will not abandon any personnel carrying out unlawful duty.
Well, at the ministry and within the armed forces, we will always protect officers on local duty. So we are looking into question and the rest assured any officer on local duty be protected. I will not go into local duty. Doing his job. He's doing his job incredibly well.
You're absolutely right, guys. I mean, the military has spoken. They are backing the naval officer at this point. Quick points before we wrap up.
Somebody just
yes.
said me, Dr.
Go ahead.
He said what you tell is ajagungbale.
Right.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
It's those that
Fight to get the land.
Right.
Ajagungbale says so.
We're also even hearing that Wike has reportedly.
They are all the same.
We're also even hearing that Wike has reportedly ordered a total ban on the use of mobile phones by staff of the Abuja Geographic Information Systems and the Department of Land Administration following that confrontation with the naval officers sparking pushback among workers who have called the move absurd and anti-labor.
This is a serious issue. We can laugh about it, but I think that there's a point, and that's why it was, Rufai was asking around code of conduct and whether or not he's overreaching. Let's call a spade a spade. He's overreaching and he's acting like an emperor, and that's why people have tagged him that. And the reason why people cannot even see anything wrong with what the military officer did is that there's just a general dislike of the manner in which he has carried out his duties. Later on, I hear today at 12 noon, he has another press briefing. Oh, wow. Or shall we say call to his chambers or court to come and, so I think it's important for the president to step in at this point.
This is it.
No other minister acting them. I know styles are different, but he's overreaching, and I think that he treated that man with a lot of dishonor and disregard. And it was not just the man, it was the uniform he was wearing.
No need to call an officer a fool.
Ministry officials
we have to go.
should ignore Wike's directive.
So many people have had problems. Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, former general, former head of state, former president, he will call me on phone. Minister, I look good at this problem of land here. Please carry. I will solve the problem. That is former head of state, former elected president. We have the courtesy of calling the minister. Look, I have this problem. See how you can look into it. General Tiwa Danjuma would call you. Look, there is this and this and this. These are people who, they're all retired generals. These are people who cause discipline. They didn't bother because they were former chief of army staff. They were former president. They never sent soldiers They never send anybody to go and attack anybody. They just call you. And respect the gas, respect. I have to respect. And I'll tell them, sir, don't worry. I will sort out the problem. And I will do. I won't even talk about other people who are highly placed. They will come to you. Mr. Minister, maybe we didn't know of this. If we knew, we would have done it like this. When a Southern Major General attacked the development control, I wrote a letter. The President Chief of Defense Staff was Chief of Army Staff then. I wrote a letter, sir. See. Because that is a Southern military officer. That if anything goes wrong, he's still under the authority, under the control of the military. When I came on board, before them, President Jonathan had awarded a contract to develop another city, which was close to the military, but awarded a contract, not me. A Federal Council presided over by the CNC awarded. The contractor went there, he was just away. I wrote a letter. We met. The late Chief of Army Staff, Alabangi, was there. The former Chief of Defense Staff was there. These same ministers of defense, they were all there. We all met. I said, look, it is not good, this government and government. I mean, it's not, let's see how we can resolve this matter. I never one day, I respect the institutions. And I know what it takes. Even as a governor, nobody no governor will say that they supported the military more than me. So I know. But how do you see a private individual knowing fully well that you are against the law? It is not military versus government. No. If it was military, I would have written to them that, look, military, why are you doing this? This is a private individual. Land was not allocated to him. Land was allocated to a company called Santos in 2007 for parks and recreation. They applied to the former minister for change of use. The minister refused. The man went, started selling land. Maybe the former chief of staff fell into their scam, sold. This government property is not your property. If government officials came to say, look, what are you doing here now? This is not, government has sat under the ministerial committee and taken back every land under parks and even under secretariat, because we felt that there are a lot of delays, suits, litigations. We said, no, we won't continue with that. You send this to start beating government officials, not private, but government officials, beating them. Senior government officials, you were beaten. You couldn't even say, okay, let me get to the minister, see how he can help us, No, not tolerant. Simply because you had a relationship with the military. And government cannot enforce laws because you are attached or you had a relationship with a particular institution, or you come from a particular place. Who does that? Who does such thing? How will this country progress?
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu officially opened the two-day conference organized by the Nigerian Guild of Editors. In his address, he cautioned media institutions on how they portray Nigeria's image, especially to the outside world, saying the focus should be on building a nation of credibility. The president also highlighted the role of social media, noting that while it has made every individual a potential publisher, it has also increased the speed and skill of misinformation. Let's take a look.
We live in a time when information travels rapidly and widely. Social media has made every citizen a potential publisher. This has benefits, but it also increases the speed and scale of misinformation. Falsehood can take root before truth has time to speak. In such an environment, the editorial function is more important than ever. Verification must be your anchor. Balance must be your principle. And professional judgment must be your guide. Criticize government policy, but do so with knowledge and fairness. Your aim must never be to tear down what we are building together, but to help build a better society.
All right, President Tinubu's message comes at a critical time when Nigeria's global perception remains a concern for the government. The challenge for editors and journalists now is balancing their watchdog role with responsible reporting and with social media blurring the lines between professional journalism and citizen reporting. The president's call raises important questions about press freedom and accountability. I'll take some reaction. Imran wrote, "That's a fair point from the president. Freedom of expression comes with responsibility. Every citizen should verify before amplifying. However, government too must earn trust through transparency and accountability. When truth is accessible, misinformation loses power." Bayo wrote on X, "Nothing tarnishes the image of a country more than the actions and inactions of those in authority. Compare the action or inaction of a judge, a minister, a senior police officer, a governor, etc., with a random post of an angry youth. Which one weighs more?" Well, the chairman and editor-in-chief of This Day Media Group and Arise News Channel, Prince Nduka Obaigbena, speaking during the All Nigeria Editors Conference, warned that Nigeria risks losing its voice in the global media space due to the growing influence of artificial intelligence and foreign control of digital content, raising concerns about Africa's position in the global digital economy. The media mogul announced the launch of Leke, a new social media platform designed to challenge the US and Chinese dominance in global content distribution. Let's take a look.
AI is changing the format of Google and the format of the search engine. And it's going to change how journalism is run. And therefore, as Africans, we are confronted by a world where one or two countries controls distribution. That is, distribution of content through social media is controlled principally by the US and controlled to an extent by China. So that is the future of the information age we are birthing into. What are we doing about it? How are we responding to it? At the This Day and Arise Media Group, we have launched our own channel, our own social media channel, to be released in January called Leke. And that will shape the future and challenge the dominance of the US and China.
All right, Prince Obaigbena's announcement raises critical questions about Africa's position in the global digital economy. While platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok dominate content distribution worldwide, African voices and creators often struggle for visibility and fair compensation. Now, the Leke initiative, as Mr. Obaegbena has highlighted, will now provide a fair platform for African content in the global marketplace. So it's not just about creating content. It's important for African media leaders to own and control distribution channels, to shape our own narrative. Ayo, congratulations. The Leke media platform will be launched in January.
Excellent.
A quick point, I'd like for you to tie in both stories.
And I believe that was a great platform to launch Leke officially. We've seen adverts already just awaiting the launch of Leke. And Rufai said something this morning that was quite profound, which is that AI is the future editor of news. And
Correct.
so saying that at the All Nigeria Editors Conference was instructive. But I think very importantly is that the reason why the chairman and editor-in-chief of Arise This Day Media is leading this is because he's always been an advocate of Africa telling African story from the African perspective. And if you've heard him talk about the reason why he's set up African media such as This Day and Arise, this is one of his motivating factors. And so now going into the AI space, especially with regards to the distribution of information, which is moving more and more to online platforms, it is excellent to see that he's looking ahead, he's thinking futuristically. And this platform would then make sure that Africa has a voice on the global distribution of news and information. A quick note on that is that if you look at AI and the way that information is being given or distributed, what is the data that's put in is the data that you get out. So if you search for news around the African continent, the perspective would be those shaped by the Western world, because they are the ones who control the media in terms of that area currently. And so when we can have more of an African perspective, perhaps the world can get a better view in terms of the African narrative. So excellent point on that. Right. With President Tinubu, he's the first sitting president to attend the editors conference, the All Nigeria Editors Conference. And so it's instructive because he himself is a media owner. He spoke well, but I think just on the last point to say that when they ask us to project, news that projects Nigeria in a good light, national unity, let them give us news that we can report that projects Nigeria in a good light. We don't manufacture the insecurity. Absolutely. We don't manufacture the hunger numbers in Nigeria. It is what is the fact on ground that we report. And when they do well, as we praise the president just in the last segment for his effort in sports, we also report it. Yes. So it's a collaboration. Let the government do well. We will be more than happy to project those kind of news, not what we see. So it's what is given to us that we project out.
Well said, Ayo, well said. We'll take another story now, and congratulations to the chairman on the launch of Leke. We'll take another story now. As the reports of insecurity and Christian genocide in Nigeria continues to gain global attention, former Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi, in a video now trending online, denied viral claims that he traveled to meet with former U.S. President Barack Obama, specifically to plot the removal of President Goodluck Jonathan from office ahead of the 2015 election over Christian genocide. Amechi spoke during a public lecture on Monday, stating that he never reported Jonathan to Obama and that the only place you can report a president is to the National Assembly and to God. Let's take a look.
There's a video you people are showing around. Amechi them went to America. I never went to America. That was here in Lagos. Lagos, I was in the meeting. American government, without anybody petitioning to them. Who are they God? After the president, no other person. So how can I petition the American government? What would they do? But American government came here. After speaking to other countries, what did they come to do? Good luck, don't rig. If you rig, we will not recognize you. Opposition, if you visit violence, we will not recognize you. So they went to the president and told the president their mind. We are here for free and fair election. Please don't rig. Opposition, if you dare try violence, this is our response to it. But Nigerians say, oh, we went for Christian genocide. We went to report Goodluck. We report him. Do you report the president? The only place you can report a president is either the National Assembly or God. Not to America.
All right, Dr. Abati Amechi has clarified, but I'm going to run through these stories and then you can discuss all of those together. Well, in the meantime, Senator Orji Uzor Kalu has defended recent comments made by U.S. President Donald Trump on insecurity in Nigeria, insisting that the remarks reflect the country's grim reality. Speaking with journalists at the National Assembly in Abuja, the former Abia State governor and senator representing Abia North said Trump's statements on religiously motivated killings should not be dismissed, noting that both Christians and Muslims continue to fall victim to extremist attacks across the country.
Donald Trump said the truth. Nigerians are being killed, whether they are Christians or Muslims. Are they not being killed? If they kill people in Plateau, they go to a church in Plateau, those they will kill are Christians. If they go to Benue, the majority of people they will kill in Benue are Christians. If they go to Zamfara, majority of people they kill in mosque there are Muslims. So these people are jihadists. These people just want to destroy Nigeria. So we should call a black name on them without any pity. They will be smoked out. But let me tell you, before President Trump says a word, mind you, that the American intelligence community must have found out where these people are living. All these ones we are talking is rhetoric. And you can see Nigerian Air Force, possibly the information that have been given to them by the U.S. authorities and say they are there. And you see Nigerian Air Force in the last 3 days bombing the homes of these people. And that is what it should be. We should not pity anybody who is a terrorist. We should not. And we are working diplomatically to make sure that we put our house in order. It will be solved diplomatically.
All right, Senator Kalu's remarks highlight the delicate balance Nigeria must strike between accepting international security assistance and maintaining sovereign dignity. While acknowledging Trump's controversial statements as factually accurate, he simultaneously holds America partly responsible for creating the crisis through destabilizing the Middle Eastern and Northern African regimes. His call for deeper U.S. cooperation recognizes that Nigeria's security apparatus needs external support despite the uncomfortable optics of a foreign leader publicly criticizing the nation's failure to protect its citizens. Meanwhile, the African Union Commission Chairperson Mahmoud Ali Yusuf on Wednesday rejected accusations of a Christian genocide in Nigeria, urging people to think twice before making such statements. Yusuf added that the first victims of Boko Haram are Muslims, not Christians. Let's take a look.
The first victims of Boko Haram are Muslims, not Christians. The first victims. And I'm saying it with documented references. So the complexity in the northern part of Nigeria should not be taken, that easily. So what we are saying to those statements, with regard to those statements, is that the African continent is very complex. It's not that easy to describe those situations with very easy words that can be used in a not reasonable way. That's why the African Union continent, the African Union Commission are very clear about that. We made it clear in our statement and communique, and we would like really to stress again that there is no genocide in northern Nigeria.
All right, Dr. Abati, the AU chair here, maintaining that there is no genocide in northern Nigeria. But we just heard Senator Orji Uzor Kalu saying that those that are perpetrating this sort of crime are jihadists and they should be smoked out and we should actually give them the black name that they deserve. I'd like for you to tie in both comments and also with the fact that, there was that viral claim with Amechi saying that he went to the US to report former President Jonathan to Obama. Your thoughts?
Well, I think that the clarification by former Minister Rotimi Amechi is useful to the extent that, only yesterday the president was talking about misinformation and how that can create a lot of misleading, thoughts and situation. But Mr. Rotimi Amechi himself, who is at the center of the story, has come out to say he did not go to any America to report President Jonathan to Obama. in any case, he doesn't have such powers to go and report the president of a sovereign country to the president of another country. And except anybody has any peculiar, facts to the contrary. As somebody who was in government at that time, I'm not aware that, one person can go and report President Jonathan to President Obama. What I recall is that, look, there were issues at that time between the Governors Forum. There was the Governors Forum at a time when Amechi was voted in as chairman, and there was this rival faction where Jonah Jang was voted in by 16 persons. So there was this dispute about whether 16 members are more powerful than 19 members within the Nigerian Governors Forum. So there was that tension, at that level between Governor Rotimi Amechi, as he then was, and the Villa. But I do not think that the thing degenerated to the ridiculous extent of going to report to a headmaster in the United States. Yeah. But of course, that led to disagreement between Governor Amechi and also the Villa, with some other issues, underlying issues in Rivers State. That's to the best of my knowledge. If anybody has any peculiar facts in that regard, the person should come forward. What I know is that Secretary of State John Kerry visited Nigeria also at that time.
Yes.
I think we received him in the Marina House. Yeah, on that occasion, I was the one holding the microphone to introduce the two leaders. And, the whole issue was ahead of the election. And the summary was, America is interested, America will support the process. I don't know anything beyond that. Now, number two was Senator Orji Uzor Kalu.
Yes.
Now, let's note very carefully. We made the point that the statement by the U.S. president should be taken as a wake-up call for the Nigerian authorities. The Nigerian authorities themselves, the Nigerian government, has issued a statement saying, we are ready to cooperate with the United States to solve this problem. Now, Senator Orji Uzor Kalu has not said anything out of that. I didn't hear him using the word genocide. But he reiterated the same point that the Nigerian government has also acknowledged. Namely, that there is the problem of insecurity, there is banditry, there is insurgency, there is terrorism in parts of the country. And he made the point that, look, Muslims are being killed, Christians are being killed. The responsibility of government is to ensure that everybody in this environment is safe.
Yes.
So before, the message gets lost in translation that Senator Orji Uzor Kalu is supporting Trump. No, that's not what he's saying. He's saying that we should listen to what Trump is saying because, as we say, America knows whatever happens.
Right. He said before Trump would speak, he already knows everything.
Based on intelligence. If there is cooperation, they can share that intelligence with the Nigerian authorities. As for the AU Commission chair, what he's saying basically is that the situation in Nigeria is far more complex. It's not something that you can just fit into a stereotype because oftentimes the Western media tends to mischaracterize situations in Africa, which was the point that Minister Yusuf Tuga, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, whom I quoted earlier, was making. After his interaction with Piers Morgan, he said, look, he has provided facts that people may not accept within the Western space, but that he will hope that his interview will be, reported verbatim, so that nothing gets misconstrued.
Lost in translation.
Many perspectives, some people would, depending on their persuasion, would lean in one direction or the other. But our issue is that the Nigerian government still has a lot to do to protect everybody, whether Muslim or Christian or what are those people in
very well said. We have to protect us.
Animists.
All right. So I mean, Dr. Abati, you've said that you didn't hear Orji Uzor Kalu using the word genocide, but we've heard from other governors, state governors in Nigeria, using that term. Before I come to you, off of the back of the fact that the AU is maintaining that there is no Christian genocide in northern Nigeria. Well, in April, Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang said that the violence in his state is not a clash between farmers and herders, but is a genocide instead. Let's take a look.
What happened on the plateau is not a clash between farmers and herders. Please hear me and hear me well. What has been happening is genocide, and I want the international community to note it. We think we know those behind it. We are coming after them. Already a number of arrests have been made, and we know that those arrested are only agents of the masterminds behind these attacks. And we know that there are powerful forces behind them. By the grace of God, we will not only expose them, we will break their ranks.
All right, as complex as Nigeria is, Rufai, we've heard from Plateau State Governor use that word genocide. We also heard from the former Benue State Governor, what is his name again? What was his name again? The former Benue State Governor, Autumn, actually used the word genocide to describe the killings in that area as well.
You see, the truth is blunt.
Yes.
There is Christian genocide in Nigeria. No matter how we try to change the narrative, is it that they're not killing of Muslims, they're killing of Muslims, but there is Christian genocide. I've read the definition. Once you have the intent to kill, cause bodily harm, wipe up a group of people, is genocide. You see, the reason why all of them are running from the word genocide, because they know the tag it gives an international implication. That's the same reason why Israel was running away from that tag of genocide in Gaza.
Yes.
Like they run away from it, they don't run away from it. There's Christian genocide in Nigeria. Fix it and let the truth reign.
Finish.
Stephanie.
Main point. That really is the main point. Christians are being killed in Nigeria. Nigerian government cannot run away from this. This is the actual fact, because we have heard from your constituents, pastors. We've taken stories
TFN,
from, Dachamo. We have seen proof. We have seen fact that Christians are being killed.
So guys, let's quickly take a look at some headlines on the social media. Peter Obi will deliver far better leadership than Bola Tinubu if entrusted with Nigeria's future, coming from Pat Utomi. Let's see how some Nigerians have reacted to that. This person say, how come he couldn't deliver better leadership in Anambra? This person say, it's common knowledge, but maybe some Nigerians are used to hardship and will want to die in it, because their comment and reasoning gives the impression of persons under spell. This person say, but we obedience are hungry even now. And this person say, please, Pat Utomi, vote for him in 2027. And another person say, where is the Vox waging today, sir? And this person say 100%. So these are reactions from Pat Utomi's comments that somebody posted on the social media. I'm equally going to take you through more other reactions. So we know that Wike has come under fire. Some of his behavior, Nigerians are saying, what is really happening, with Wike, the way he behaves, the things he does. You can imagine if he was to be the president of this country. It would be hell on many people, honestly. But as it stands now, he's not. So there is this headline where, let me read it the way it is. There is no genocide happening in Nigeria. The first documented victims of Boko Haram are the Muslims. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, the African Union Commission chairperson, speaks on allegation of Christian genocide in Nigeria. Muslims speaking for Christians. Can you imagine? Why should Muslims be the ones speaking for Nigerians? Why? This man is a Muslim man. For the fact that he's heading this office, he has no right to be the one speaking for us. When we know our plight, we have first-hand victims. Genocide has been happening long in Nigeria before even Boko Haram emerges, particularly in regions like Kaduna and Plateau. Falsehood from the peel of hell. There is no church in the hinterland of Northeast. Boko Haram has obliterate them. Abducted Chibok girls, numbering hundreds, all Christians. 40 student fed poly, Mubi, massacred. His public relation for an inept government has failed. And this other person here said, a Mahmoud will defend his extremist Islamic terrorist brothers. I mean, that is just it. This one say, invite him to Plateau and Benue. And this one say, absolutely. Mahmoud Yusuf's statement is a necessary clarification amid exaggerated narratives while Nigeria faces serious security challenges. It is important to rely on verified facts rather than partisan, can you imagine? Partisan religious charged claims. And this person say, God, this person is even saying God should punish the person. Are you in Nigeria? Are they respect to yourself? You look like those terrorists from Mali, Sudan, and Libya. And this person here say, how would you say this? Isn't he a Muslim? The first documented. Did he ever ask question on how many Christians were murdered during riots far north? Or how many Christians have been murdered thus far? people are telling you what they are going through, and you are saying otherwise. I mean, can you imagine? A Muslim man is defending no Christian genocide. Tell me what they are up to. Check on Kissinger's report and tell Trump to fuck up. Can you imagine? And okay, this person is even from Kenya. And this person, it's a pity how our leaders are playing politics with everything happening in this country. No value and respect for human lives. And this person said, this empty brain Muslim having an opinion about an era he had never visited, an area he had never visited. So he understands global politics more than all of you social media keypad warriors supporting rubbish just because you hate the government in power. And this is coming from someone not living in Nigeria. Impartial view of Ali Yusuf. Still no statement on the one in Sudan. He will still tell you there's none in Sudan. And this person say, but there are killings, right? Who be that good? Tinubu Egunje stretches far beyond this border. So Africans get union, see him head. I don't know about any African union that is really working or helping Africans. So they are victims. Are you guys even serious? AU person working for their own selfish interests. Trump spoke and they are out. I can't believe that this man will be saying that. What do you expect a Fulani man to say? They will know this will not go viral because it doesn't suit their agenda and narrative. And this person said that man know well. You want to know about Catholic and you are asking from a Christ embassy member. Nigeria, my country, run by liars in high places. Empathy and fact are key to understand Nigerian complex reality. Copyright from Boda, Dada, and you say, make I believe this one. Nigerians are dying, both Muslims and Christians. What is the ostrich saying? Make God arise in your anger. Let him come on ground. This man looks sick. Seriously, foolish people. So these are some of the reactions from Nigerians after Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, the African Union Commission chairperson, speak on allegation of Christian genocide, saying there is nothing like Christian genocide. He is a Fulani man, and for him, it's good to say that all the killings in Nigeria doesn't want to be talked about. It's really heartbreaking. Oh my God, it's sad. Nigeria must confront the truth. There are Christian targeted killings, kidnappings, and forceful takeover of ancestral land. PTF President Wole Oke is speaking. Nigerians must sit up. Now, this headline here says, terrorists lay ambush on Egbekoro Road in Kwara, kidnap travelers while another escapes. So guys, this is it. They are showing that they have taken over Nigeria, you know? And this is what people will see, and they'll come out to tell you there is no insecurity in Nigeria. It's really, really sad. So let's take a look at some reactions coming from bandits kidnapping in Kwara. Travelers were taken while some escaped. Let's see what is happening. And some mentally, emotionally, and spiritually deformed, disoriented, disguised, disgusting, and despicable people are protesting against the possible U.S. government intervention via its military action against those Islamic terrorists operating in different parts of Nigeria. Isn't it? Ask them. This one said, Ben Hunde, Nigerian police, is Kwara no longer under your jurisdiction? Only protesters and Shawore, you are able to flex muzzle again, honestly. Oh my God. They should send Navy Lieutenant Yerima there, let him go and confront them the way he confronted Wike. Misplaced priority. And this person said, God, please, let those people that were kidnapped be the APC supporters. And if those people are terrorist supporters or tribal bigot, let them perish in the forest. Amen. So you can see the prayer of somebody. This government is really pushing Nigerians to the wall. Bunch of hypocrites. Their problem is Igbo, IPOB, and P2B. That's where the Yerimas, some idiots are praising for carrying out illegal order should be, and not protecting land. The killing continues. Yeah, some Yorubas are so-called educated people are on the internet exhibiting foolishness, trying to change the narrative about ongoing Fulani terrorist genocide, Christians and indigenous Nigerians just because of one human being presidency. Are you sure you black Africans in Yoruba land are human beings? Everyday lives are being lost in hundreds. Yet all the Yorubas, so-called Christians, general overseer, have all gone mute, while the people they are telling about heaven are being slaughtered just because of Tinubu interest. Heaven does not exist again. Lives doesn't matter. Is all about tithes and offering, no shame, no value for human lives, that God cherish Yet you still go and give them your money in the name of God, giving God. The brain of a black man is his problem. And this means the Kwara is the most terrorized Yoruba kidnappers. But if Trump talk now, they will be shouting religious bigot. Yariba, go home, leave Kwara, go back to Oshobo. Leave Kwara, go back to Oshobo. And this means the Kwara could get under siege. May God have mercy. Nothing will ever bring me back to the north. It makes me poke. That region is it was in Africa. No sane person will imagine to spend his life there. What is Nigeria turning into? So guys, these are some of the reactions from Nigerians. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you.